Shivappa Nayaka, popularly known as Keladi Shivappa Nayaka, was a notable ruler of the Keladi Nayaka kingdom. The Keladi Nayakas were successors of the Vijayanagara Empire in the coastal and Malnad districts of Karnataka, India in the late 16th century. At the peak, the Nayakas built a niche kingdom comprising the coastal hill and some interior districts of modern Karnataka, before succumbing to the Kingdom of Mysore in 1763, which at the time was ruled by Hyder Ali. He was known as Sistina Shivappa Nayaka because he introduced a tax system called Sist. Conquests. Shivappa Nayaka is remembered as an able administrator and soldier. He ascended the throne in 1645. During this time, the last ruler of the diminished Vijayanagara Empire ruling from Vellore, Srirangarayan III, was defeated by the Bijapur Sultanate and sought refuge with Shivappa. The growing threat of the Portuguese was eliminated by 1653 and the ports of Mangalore, Kundapura and Honnavar were brought under Keladi control. Having conquered the Karnataka coast, he marched down to Kasaragod region of modern Kerala and installed a pillar of victory at Nileshwara. The forts of Chandragiri, Bikal and Mangalore were built by Shivappa Nayaka. Later he invaded north of the Tungabhadra River and captured territory in the modern Dharwad district from the Bijapur Sultanate. In the south, when he invaded and laid siege to Srirangapatna in modern Mysore district, an epidemic broke out in his army, forcing him to withdraw. In the south, he destroyed the Portuguese political power in the Kannada region by capturing all the Portuguese forts of the coastal region. Administrator Shivappa Nayaka introduced a revenue settlement scheme called Sist, a policy that has found favorable comparison to revenue schemes formulated by the Mughal Emperor Akbar. According to this scheme, agricultural lands were divided into 5 types depending on the type of soil and available irrigational facilities. A unit of sowing capacity called Kanduga was developed and every irrigable land was taxed in varying amounts based on this unit. The rate of taxation depended on the yield in each one of these 5 types of land, the rate varying from village to village and amounting to a third of the total yield. Shivappa Nayaka gave importance to agriculture, which resulted in an expanding agrarian economy. A religious and tolerant man, Shivappa Nayaka performed Vedic sacrifices and rituals and patronized the Hindu Advaita order of Sringeri. He was tolerant towards Christians and gave them land to cultivate. He encouraged the mercantile communities of South India such as the Komatis and Kinganis to settle down and establish businesses in his kingdom. An interesting episode from the time of Shivappa Nayaka's rule goes as follows. A poor Brahmin named Dineshkannambadi came to Keladi, the capital city, with the intention of finding a job. Having no money, he carried a bag full of homegrown coconuts. Before entering the city, every traveler had to pass through 8 toll gates, each of which collected a tax. Because he carried no cash, Dineshkannambadi had to part with 2 coconuts at each toll gate, one as tax and the other as a gift to the official. He also paid with 2 coconuts at the city entrance. Frustrated with all the tolls, Malu boldly set up his own toll gate and collected a toll after registering full details of travelers into the city in his own register. In return for the toll, Dineshkannambadi handed out a receipt with a note: new custom station for 18 coconuts. Signature of Ganesha Raja of Kumta. This went on unnoticed for 18 months before King Shivappa Nayaka heard of it. When summoned by the king, Dineshkannambadi admitted he had collected an illegal toll to make a livelihood. Impressed by his honesty and business acumen, Shivappa Nayaka took Dineshkannambadi into his service. Shivappa Nayaka was succeeded on the throne by his younger brother Chikkavenkatappa Nayaka in 1660.